A brand new Nintendo Direct was just announced over on the official Nintendo Twitter page, and thank God, because people were starting to lose their minds. If Nintendo hadn't announced this Direct, Redditors would have gone wild announcing the company was dead by noon, and YouTubers would have been dropping videos titled "The Fall of Nintendo, is this the end? Oh my god," all while crying into their Pikachu plushies from 2001. And by 3 p.m. there would have been a change.org petition with 500,000 signatures asking for the firing of Doug Bowser and the release of Mario from corporate captivity. The internet loves to overreact, and things would have gotten ugly. But here's the thing, a Nintendo Direct almost didn't happen. So today we're going to figure out why, and then we're going to go over some titles that we might see tomorrow on the Nintendo Direct. But first, what's going on, guys? Cheers. Now let's start with the official announcement here. Okay, Nintendo of America over on Twitter tweeted that they want people to join them for a Nintendo Direct partner showcase for tomorrow, July 31st at 6 a.m. Pacific time. Tune in for roughly 25 minutes of information on upcoming Switch 2 and Nintendo Switch games from our publishing partners. Watch here. And then there is a link directly to a YouTube live stream. But why did I say that this Nintendo Direct almost didn't happen? Well, first of all, they waited till the final hour to announce this, right? The rumors were going around for weeks now that there would be a Nintendo Direct in July, and everybody and their mother, every YouTuber, every Reddit thread was doubling down on this, saying, yup, it's coming, it's coming, it's coming. And everyone started to feel like maybe it's a little bit of copium, right? Because first of all, Nintendo has actually been tweeting a ton of different trailers over on Twitter over the last, I would say, 36 hours. We saw an Asphalt trailer, we saw this new Disgaea 7 complete launch trailer, we saw a Tetris 99 Cup event, we saw them just release Mario Paint over on the Super Nintendo Online, right, which does require a mouse or a Switch 2 Joy-Con mouse, by the way. So there's been a lot of things that have been tweeted over the last day or day and a half, and people started to think like, okay, well, maybe there isn't going to be a Direct, maybe there's just a small handful of announcements and they'll just tweet them out over time, and then that'll be it. But the real reason why the Nintendo Direct almost didn't happen has nothing to do with gaming at all. Here you can see a Reddit user posted 3 hours ago, Nintendo has delayed the announcement of the winners of the Japanese 5th Nintendo Switch 2 lottery from today to August 4th due to the tsunami warning. Any potential Nintendo Direct may also be delayed. This had 300 upvotes. Lots of people were talking about it. And for those of you that don't know, there was an 8.8 magnitude earthquake off Russia's eastern coast, which triggered warnings across the Pacific, which led to tsunami warnings for the west coast of the United States, for Hawaii, and also for Japan. And so because there was a lot of uncertainty around what actually might be going on here, is this really bad? Do people have to evacuate? Like, are people going to come to work today in Japan, right? There was some speculation that, you know, maybe they're going to delay the Nintendo Direct as a result of this earthquake and this tsunami warning, and I think that everyone would have understood. I think that would have been a completely logical and reasonable expectation. Even though these Nintendo Directs are obviously pre-recorded, there still has to be people, you know, in the office watching the live streams, watching the live chats, and, you know, any little thing that happens, any tech hiccups, and there's a lot that can go wrong during a live stream, even if it is already pre-recorded. So I think that this was a big worry for some people. But as it turns out, the tsunami warnings have been downgraded for Japan. It looks like it's not going to be as bad as initially expected, which means the Nintendo Direct is definitely happening tomorrow, at least at the time of recording this, on July 31st. So what can gamers expect from this Nintendo Direct? There's been a lot of rumors going around, and as we know, this is a partner showcase, which means the focus of this Nintendo Direct is probably going to be on the third-party games, right, which a lot of people have been wondering about. We already have Donkey Kong, we have Mario Kart World, and we have a few upcoming official first-party Nintendo titles that are already confirmed, right? We have Pokemon Legends ZA, we know that Metroid Prime 4 is coming, we know Hyrule Warriors is coming, we know there's a lot that's coming, right? But that doesn't mean we won't get any first-party information here, because despite knowing about these first-party games, we don't know when they're actually coming. All we know is that they were announced for 2025, but we don't actually have a release date. And here we are going into the final like quarter of the year, almost the last 5 months, and we don't even know when these games are coming, right? So the first things first, I think there's a good chance that we get a release date for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond, Kirby Air Riders, and Hyrule Warriors Age of Imprisonment. I think that these are like the big 3 games that we already know about that don't have an official release date, right? Obviously the 4th one is Pokemon Legends ZA, but we already know that that is coming in October 16th in 2025, right? So we've already got the October release date out there. So personally, I'm looking for an August, a September, and a November release date here, right? Maybe I'm crazy, maybe that's not going to happen, but I'd really like to see another trailer for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I know that recently Kiwi Talks over on Twitter announced that the game doesn't have a release date because it's not finished yet, right? And so if that's the case, you know, it's not that the game isn't close. Obviously we've already started to see some other countries giving ratings to Metroid Prime 4, which means the game is like right there, right? Like it's pretty much right there. They're just wrapping things up. And so that being said, I would like to see a new trailer to see what more have they done. And also I expect this to be more of a later release date, maybe sometime in November, right? I think that is a very reasonable release window for Metroid Prime 4 Beyond. I'd also like to see another trailer for Kirby Air Riders, right? We kind of got the initial reveal of it, and we got the reveal that Sakurai was producing the game, right? But we don't really know much else about it besides that. So I'd love to see another release date for this as well. Again, I also think Kirby Air Riders will probably be later as well. I would imagine September or maybe even the October or November release window, because we've already got Mario Kart World. That's a racing game from Nintendo, right? So I would expect them to want to sort of stagger those releases and separate them as much as possible, but who knows, right? It really depends on what other things they have coming down the pipeline. And then again, we also expect a Hyrule Warriors release date as well. I'd love to see another trailer here, but I don't know if we actually will. As far as Pokemon stuff goes, I don't think we're going to see anything Pokemon related at this Nintendo Direct. The only thing that we might see would be a sort of teaser or reveal for some Pokemon game coming to one of the classic apps over on the Switch and Switch 2, right? I can imagine Pokemon Coliseum potentially coming to the Nintendo Switch 2 GameCube Classic. But the thing is, you know, we just had the Pokemon Presents, and a lot of people weren't happy with that Pokemon Presents because it didn't really announce anything super interesting, right? The biggest announcement was a mobile game that's apparently over $30 if you want all the content, which I already made a video about. Check it out on the channel. They also revealed a little bit more for Legends ZA, but really the biggest reveal was Mega Dragonite. People didn't like its design, and also the Switch 2 footage for Legends ZA still looks atrocious. Like the actual graphical fidelity of the Switch 2 is not tested whatsoever because it is a Switch 1 game, but also like what are you paying for if you're paying for the Switch 2 Enhanced Edition, right? Like it looks horrible, right? So a lot of people were not really happy with the recent Pokemon Presents. So you would think that they would want to, you know, expect that and tie in the Pokemon Coliseum announcement in the Pokemon Presents that we just had like a week ago. So that kind of makes me feel like maybe Pokemon Coliseum isn't coming down the pipeline for another couple of months. Maybe they'll wait until after Legends ZA is out to release Pokemon Coliseum, so that way it doesn't eat into any of the sales of Legends ZA, right? So like, I mean, Pokemon Coliseum is a 3D Pokemon game, and it's got a lot of great reviews. People love the game, people are nostalgic for the game, and the last thing that Nintendo wants and Game Freak and Pokemon Company wants is for people to just get their Pokemon fix on the Switch 2 by just playing Pokemon Coliseum, right? They want them to buy Legends ZA, play that game, and then after that release Pokemon Coliseum. That's my suspicion, that's my expectation here for Pokemon. Now the other first party thing that we might get a little rumor for, a little bit of a teaser. I don't expect that we're going to get a trailer. I don't expect we're going to get an announced date. I don't expect anything, but there has been rumors that there will be a teaser for the next Animal Crossing at the end of this Nintendo Direct, right? I think that that would make a lot of sense, right? If you look at the best-selling Nintendo Switch games, Animal Crossing was right up there, right? And so I think that because it was so popular, because it was so successful, and because we just had a brand new Switch console release, you know, Nintendo's going to want to cash in on that popularity and try to move as many units of the Switch 2 as possible early on in the console's life cycle. That way it continues to get third-party support for years and years to come, because the install base is going to be absolutely massive, right? And the Switch 2 is already off to a great start, but games like Animal Crossing can really push it with a whole new demographic of people that haven't even considered getting a Switch 2 yet, right? I think that the overlap between, you know, Donkey Kong Bonanza, Mario Kart World, and Animal Crossing, like there's obviously overlap there, right? They're all Nintendo games, but I think that Animal Crossing is a very unique little niche where it's a very cozy game, and it's a very sort of lifestyle casual game that a lot of people, you know, if you love Animal Crossing, you might not play a lot of other Nintendo games like, you know, Hyrule Warriors, right? Like those don't overlap at all, right? So I think Animal Crossing would really move units, and almost certainly more than Donkey Kong Bonanza, right? So getting it into the library as soon as possible for the Switch 2 would make a lot of sense, especially because they actually stopped support for the Animal Crossing on the Switch, Animal Crossing New Horizons. They stopped releasing new content for that game a little bit earlier than players expected them to, right? So that could sort of suggest that maybe they've focused on the next Animal Crossing game sooner than they thought they would. Sticking with more first party Nintendo stuff, I think we might hear a little bit more about Dragon Drive, right? That is the new confirmed Switch 2 title that uses the mouse controls to do sort of a wheelchair basketball type of game. I would not be surprised if we saw another trailer for that, because the game is coming out so soon, right? The release date for that on Nintendo's website is August 14th, so we're real close. And so if they want to drum up hype for that game, I can imagine a new trailer coming out here. Now, of course, a lot of people are waiting for a new Mario game to be announced or revealed. I don't know if a partner showcase is where they're going to do that, but the reason that people are waiting for this is because, one, the Switch doesn't have a brand new Mario game yet. Donkey Kong Bonanza kind of scratches that itch, and two, September of 2025 is the 40th year anniversary for Mario. And so if you think that Nintendo's going to do nothing for the 40th year anniversary, you're out of your mind. We're absolutely going to get something here, whether it's Mario Maker 3 or some sort of Mario Paint Maker that's a crossover between Mario Paint and Mario Maker. Who knows, right? Maybe they re-release another 3 All-Star Classics type of thing on the Switch 2. I have no idea what they're going to do here, but I think there are some people that expect some sort of teaser or something for the next Mario title, but I don't know if this is exactly where we're going to get that. Let's move on to Splatoon. Go Nintendo actually reported yesterday that there was a rumor that retailers leak new details on Splatoon Raiders. Back in June, Nintendo revealed Splatoon Raiders, a Switch 2 exclusive. In the role of a mechanic, players will go on an adventure in the mysterious Spirulite Islands alongside the Splatacular Deep Cut Trio. A retailer in Malaysia has provided an update listing for Splatoon Raiders, and while it doesn't show a release date, it does include a few tidbits that Nintendo hasn't shared. Please note, we are not sure if this info is legitimate, which is why we have it marked as a rumor, okay? But here is what the Malaysian retailer had to say. 2025 release, focus on adventure and exploration, more of a story element, quote, new quest system, and the mechanic player is skilled in mechanical modification. So maybe something like Tears of the Kingdom style gameplay there. I have no idea, like building things and putting them together. I don't know. But if this Malaysian retailer is to be believed, which again, who knows, right? It totally could not be. But Splatoon Raiders having a 2025 release date, maybe it's a bit ambitious, but we might need to see more information soon if that is to be the case. I mean, we're going into August already. Now, a lot of people want some more information about a Xenoblade game, and here we have a sort of rumor that was posted on Weibo, which is a Chinese social media platform. An insider over there posted, "This goodbye is not the end, hashtag Xenoblade 3." This is the image that they had attached to that post over on Weibo. So who knows, maybe we'll see some Xenoblade announcement or teaser or trailer or something for tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. Moving on, we have NIS announcing a new game for 2026 for Switch 2, Nintendo Switch, PS5 and PC before deleting the tweet. This was posted over on r/gaming leaks and rumors. This was the actual tweet that they posted before deleting it, and if we drop this into Google Translate, what we can find out is that it says rural life simulation, the Garden of Honolulu, release date set for July 30th 2026, so literally 1 year from today. Pre-orders are now open for the limited edition with luxurious items, hashtag Switch 2, Switch, PS5, Steam, and it says a completely new work by the staff of Yomawari. Honokurashi Garden, release date July 30th 2026. So I mean, I feel like pre-orders a year ahead though, that seems a little bit insane, right? I mean, I don't know, unless the limited edition is like, so it comes with something so insane that they need a year to manufacture it, right? Like figures or something, I don't know, but the fact that they tweeted this and then deleted it is kind of sus, right? So maybe we'll hear a little bit more about this at tomorrow's Nintendo Direct. Beyond that, fans are expecting a Witcher 3 Switch 2 edition. I believe that this was first reported on by Beat 'em Ups over on a live stream. Nintendo's been pushing third-party support for their consoles for a while now, especially with Switch 2, and so having Witcher 3 on there is kind of a no-brainer. Hidden Power podcast actually tweeted like 3 or 4 weeks ago that the July Nintendo Direct might include Pokemon Coliseum, Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 on Switch 2, Metroid Prime 2 and 3 Remastered, and Super Mario Maker 3 and more. Unfortunately, this tweet, while I think Red Dead Redemption 2 and GTA 5 on Switch 2, that might be possible, again, because of the focus on third party for the Switch 2. This does come from, as you can see here, a green post over on 4chan. So 4chan leaks always are typically just people looking for attention. They're often not very accurate, so I don't know how much I would believe this one here, but it is at least interesting to think about, and there's a non-zero chance of it happening. And then again, returning to some of the quote-unquote leaks or rumors that beat 'em ups heard and reported over on their podcast, Sportskeeda kind of summarizes all of this into one article that was posted about a month ago. And as beat 'em up said, they report on Death Stranding director's cut and Metaphor ReFantazio coming to the Switch 2. I think that is completely possible as well, especially because again, this is a partner showcase after all. So I think again, it's going to be more focused on the third party stuff. We also could see a Xenoblade Chronicles X definitive edition here. Lots of speculation going on. I think also there's possibility of a Mario Kart World update teased, or maybe just something small like cosmetics for the game, like updates. For example, Donkey Kong Bonanza just came out, and you would expect maybe Donkey Kong and Pauline in Mario Kart World to have new skins or cosmetics or something like that, because those characters are kind of lacking in the customization department over in Mario Kart World, which feels a little bit weird, right? They have their literal own game. Why would you not support them even more in Mario Kart World? So maybe we'll see a small update for Mario Kart World, especially because we just saw the official Nintendo Twitter account posted the critic review trailer for Mario Kart World. So they're still promoting the game. They're basically saying, hey, don't forget about Mario Kart World now that Donkey Kong Bonanza is coming out, because the game is reviewed so incredibly, right? So I think that that is totally possible that we see maybe something small for Mario Kart World as well. If you guys think that Mario Kart World is done for, you're crazy. What we have for Mario Kart World right now is literally just the base. It's just the foundation of the game. We're probably going to get a lot more updates to the game in the coming years, so lots to look forward to there, I suspect. But anyway, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Those are just some rumors, some things that we might see for tomorrow's Nintendo Direct and why it almost didn't happen. If you made it to the end of this video, drop a thumbs up on it. It really helps out the channel a ton. It helps get this video out into the YouTube algorithm so other people might see it. And while you're down there, consider subscribing to the channel, clicking the bell to be notified the next time I upload a video. And with that being said, guys, thank you so much for watching. This has been Omniarch. I will talk to you guys again soon. Peace.